in favor of LGBTQ-friendly laws right here in Cleveland, and he has personally advocated for a better, more inclusive non-discrimination law through his work with Ordinance 1446. And his work at CPT illustrates the complex work of politics and art, which is a world of who gets to be heard and what we get to hear and see. There are choices to be made in that realm. Raymond and the theater have brought LGBTQ voices to the stage in times where doing so was not just unpopular, but really artistic funding was even put at risk in so doing. Equality Ohio is proud to honor him today as our ally for equality. Raymond, could you join me on the stage? For equality for all Ohioans, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Thank you.
I get to say a few words. Wow. Thank you so much. I feel very small here and a little uncomfortable. I'm small because, or I think I feel small because I am cisgender, identified by most as white and straight, and I am a man, and nothing in my experience can compare to what so many of you and so many in our community have overcome. And I am humbled by that. I'm overwhelmed that this group, Equality Ohio, would choose to honor me. But I know it's not just me, it's the work of Cleveland Public Theater. And though I feel small, I also feel a big responsibility. As the executive director of Cleveland Public Theater, I am charged with the mission to raise consciousness and nurture compassion. And as an artist, I am called to champion transformation and self-actualization and human dignity. We're all called to express ourselves and to fulfill our own destiny, the destiny to become our most noble selves. And so many of us have fought hard to change and grow within and without because we know that the alternative is death. Not necessarily physical death, but spiritually we will perish because we cannot deny our soul's call to become who we truly are. And I can stand in awe of what you've overcome, endured, and the beauty and love that you exhibit and share with your community. We're all finding our way. We're all in the process of knowing ourselves. And as a father, I am privileged to advocate with you, not just for equality, but for something more. For acceptance, for acknowledgement, for admiration. I want my son to grow up in a community that values your courage and values diversity and shames hatred and small-heartedness. I want my son to have the freedom to explore and question and fulfill the destiny that is unfolding for him. I want him to be on the journey that we are all on, the path of ever opening and ever learning. And we learn from each other. At CPT, I get to encounter a lot of artists from a lot of perspectives, but right now I'm particularly thinking of those outside my field who have been my allies and who have taught me about what it means to say yes. People like Brooke, who consistently has seen, I think, every show I have ever created in Cleveland, lending his attention and kindness. Wally, who says yes over and over again, creating a bigger and bigger tent for us to gather. Mary and Mary, who, unbeknownst to them, with a simple act of holding hands at a very specific moment, opened my heart in a new way. To Jacob, who came to us because we asked him to teach us, and he opened us up to a whole world that I didn't really know about. and introduced us to so many other new friends, and to Phyllis, our great neighbor and a great friend. And there are so many others. You have taught me in small and big ways about truth, pride, grace, and courage. And I'm also thinking about some of my allies, my fellow allies, like Joe and Matt, who are fighting every day at the city right now, a fight that's not very popular. And I just admire them and have learned so much. I'm thinking about my wife, Holly, who taught me so much about love and acceptance and embracing my own destiny and regarding the choice of others, and Chris and Faye and Dennis and Beth and all the incredible artists and staff that I am privileged to work with. You teach me about love and kindness every day as you champion the greatest potential within us all and within our society. And I'm thinking about Darius, my dear collaborator and one of the greatest actors in our community. He shared his journey not out of self-interest, but because he felt the need to do what is right. And he taught us all a lot by doing that. Thank you. And I'm thinking about Christine, who opened her life in such a bold and unflinching and naked way that most artists cannot even aspire to, let alone embody. And Craig, whose directing work continues to shed light on love and with consistency and clarity. And yet, it's incredible that so many people in our community don't understand this. I am looking now at examples of what we and our community can all aspire to. Courage, creativity, perseverance, and an insistence to be who you are without shame. Know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. Become yourself is its practice. And this is the grand vision of wisdom and life. This is compassion and consciousness. And I am small, but I stand with you. And you have answered the call to be and become and know. And that is something truly great, truly large. Thank you, Equality Ohio, for what you stand for and what you do every day. There is so much work to be done, but on this day, I am honored to stand with you.